Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself. You have to take a step back and have a look at your life and decide what is and isn't working. It's not a self-criticism, it's the ability to identify what isn't working and know that it's time to make some changes. As we come into the new year, I am so excited and so motivated to leave behind the things that aren't working, to bring back the things that I so dearly miss, and to keep moving forward with the things that are making my life wonderful. I am so motivated to put myself on the right path in 2026 and start living the life that I truly, truly want. Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year. New year means new me, and I used to live for this time of the year. The planners, the calendars, the stationery, just that overwhelming sense of positive renewal and motivation was just my favorite thing in the entire world. And yet something has changed in the last couple of years, and I found myself not leaning into it as much as I used to. I have many playlists on my channel of all the new year, new me content I used to make. I think I started in 2016, 2017. I have 17, 18, 18, 19. 19, 20, I think it kind of changed a little bit, and I may have started to fall off it a little bit. And then in 2020, everything locked down, and I think that's when things really changed. I have a little bit of a theory. So I was always a very proactive person. If there was something that I wanted, I would find a way to get it. And I always believed if there is a will, there is a way. And in 2020, with everything being shut down, I felt like I had the rug pulled out from underneath me, and it was the first time that I was presented with, you may have a will, but there's not always a way. At the time, I was trying to move from Australia to Canada, and obviously government shutdowns, closed borders, you couldn't do anything. And I felt really, really smacked down, really demotivated, very crushed, and to be really honest with you, I don't think I've set myself goals ever since. Not really. Not the way that I used to, and I really, really miss it. I think another thing that has happened in the last few years too, and this is a very, very positive thing, but it has also become a bit of a detriment to me at the same time, and that is learning to have downtime. Do you remember hustle culture and the go, 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 and literally never sleeping, you gotta get everything done? I very much partook in that. I don't think I took a day off in 10 years. It was go, go, go. And it's not good. That's how you burn yourself out, run yourself into the ground, and essentially just make yourself very, very unwell. And so with the lockdown, I think that gave a lot of us an opportunity to learn how to actually rest and recover before going back out and doing things, which is a wonderful thing. It's about having grace and being kind to yourself and learning when maybe you do need to slow down. All really, really great things. But I think that I have pushed it a little too far in the last couple of years. And this is where I need you to let me be honest with myself, because I do think there's a difference between beating up on yourself and being really, really harsh, and then also just kind of being honest with yourself and maybe trying to be a little bit more objective about certain things. And I don't think I'm beating up on myself here. I think I am just trying to take my emotions out of it and just look at myself a little more objectively. And I think that as a result of really learning to relax and have downtime and all that really good stuff, I've taken it a little bit too far. I think I've become somewhat lazy and demotivated. I don't feel like I'm as resilient as I used to be or as tough as I used to be. And I don't like this version of myself, and I would like to change it in 2026. So this is where I have decided to take my life back. I am by no means going to go back to the hustle culture, because as I said, it's not good for anyone. But there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance with setting goals, pushing yourself, being uncomfortable when you need to be, and then also making sure you're listening to yourself and taking rest and downtime when needed. And so my main goal for 2026 is to find that balance. I have no idea what that is going to look like. I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm going to go on that journey and I'm going to take you with me. So if you are in the same boat or you're just looking at finding some kind of balance in your life, then let's do it together. And I have not been this motivated and excited for something in such a long time. So many of you who have been following me for the longest time have said it seems like I've got my spark back. back. And I think it's true. I think I have this fire that has been reignited, and I am so ready to get back to the really, really good parts of my life that are no longer here, and then taking the good things that I have learned over the last few years as well and kind of mushing them all together and just creating that perfect balance. I have a number of things that I do know that I absolutely want to take into 2026, and the rest we'll just figure it out as we go along. The first one is journaling. I know you've probably heard this a million times. It's the go-to thing that so many people, especially people who talk about productivity and things like that, talk about. But please hear me out here. Journaling, I think, is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. I started in 2019. You can see behind me all the books down there on my bedside table. Those are all my journals from all of the years. And I really, really journaled, I think, the most in 2022. And that was also the most emotionally transformative year for me. I feel like I worked through a lot of stuff that year. And then over the last 3 years, not so much. I've been very sporadic with it, maybe a couple times a month, and I haven't been getting really, really deep. So I know to some people, it's just not your thing, and you don't have to do it via pen and paper. I'm just a pen and paper kind of person, but you can do it on your iPad, computer, type it out, whatever it is that you need to do. But start simple. Just write whatever comes to your mind. Maybe it's the sky is blue today and the sun is shining. Something super, super simple. You just have to start. It's like a muscle. The more that you do it, the better and stronger it becomes. So it takes practice, but you just start writing what comes to your mind. Essentially just word vomit everything onto the page. And for me, sometimes it's going to be really deep emotional stuff, and other times it's going to be really light stuff, like I got up and I cleaned the kitchen and I made this amazing cup of tea today and it was just great, you know, like very light surface stuff. But the idea is to get to that really, really deep emotional stuff. And as you get it out onto the page, you are kind of forced to look at it, to see it, see what's going on inside of you, and to process it. It and then move through it. And I think when you really start to get into that deep journaling and frequent journaling, then you start to make leaps and bounds through whatever it is that you've got going on in your life. And so I really stopped for a number of years, and I started again in the last 2 months, and it's changed everything. I've gone back to journaling multiple times a week and really getting that deep stuff out there. And if I didn't start journaling, I would not have realized that maybe the way that I'm living my life is not how I want to be living, and I wouldn't be sitting here making this video talking about how I want to take back control of my life in 2026. And it has just made me feel so different in the last 2 months. You know, like I said, I feel like I've got my spark back. I feel like there's a fire within me. I am motivated. I'm inspired. I am creative. I am doing things that I haven't done in a really, really long time. And I honestly put that down to journaling. I think it is such an important part, and I will absolutely be taking that in to 2026, because I don't know what I was doing when I stopped for the last couple of years. The second thing that I know I need to bring back into my life in 2026 is being physically active. For me, it is walking, daily walks. For you, it could look like any other type of physical activity. And the reason that I like my daily walks so much is very similar to journaling. It is a time for me to be able to process my thoughts, my feelings, and if I have a problem, it gives me a chance to start throwing around ideas on how I can solve that problem. I really, really got into it during 2020 in the lockdown. It was a way for me to help go through the emotions of everything, you know, being locked down, unable to do the things that I wanted to do. And then in 2022, again, I have very fond memories of 2022 because I was walking so often and I was really getting through all of these thoughts, these feelings, and these problems. And basically what I do, and this might be a little silly, but I'll go for a walk around my neighborhood, and if there's no one around, I will actually sort of mumble out loud, but I essentially just have a conversation with myself. And if it's not me mumbling, it'll be me in my head, and there will be a problem, something in my life, something I need to solve, and I will just start trying to workshop it. But trying to figure out a solution to whatever problem is presenting itself in my life. And it's kind of like a 2-in-1. Not only is going for daily walks fantastic for your mental health, but it's also fantastic for your physical health. It is very, very good for you. And so in 2026, I absolutely want to start bringing my daily walks back into my life. I did start again a couple of months ago. I haven't been out as much lately because it's freezing out there, especially yesterday. It was insane. And so as the weather warms up, absolutely, it is becoming a very, very important part of my daily routine. But Again, it's just another way for me to help process all of my thoughts, my feelings, and problem solve. And I think it's a very essential part of my daily routine. The third thing that I have been greatly missing in the last couple of years is actually having some sort of planning system. Diaries, planners, calendars, kind of. I have still maintained having my Google Calendar. I like the monthly desktop layout of my Google Calendar, and it's a way that I can put in, all of my doctor's appointments, friends' birthdays, things like that, things that I just need to track in my life. It goes into the calendar, and that has helped me stay on top of things for the last couple of years. But I have been missing having an extra few layers of planning and organizing. And so someone DM'd me on Instagram a few weeks ago and sent me a really beautiful weekly planner, and I thought, you know what, that's it. I need a weekly planner, and I'm getting one. Last week I went out and I did some stationery shopping. I have a second channel. It's a little more casual than this, not as structured. And the last video I uploaded, I was just thinking out loud with you, essentially going through all of the thoughts that I'm having around how I want to plan out 2026. And so spend the day talking about pens and pencils and planners and do a little bit of stationery shopping. I'll have it linked down below, but I have just been so inspired to have a weekly planner. I have decided that I've bought the wrong one. I bought a dated one and I don't like it. So I'm going to return it and swap it for an undated one. And I need to do that this week, and I need to do it sooner rather than later, because the quicker I do it, the quicker I can actually start planning. I'm really looking forward to bringing in some of those just really good old ways that I used to plan and organize my life, and I'm very, very much looking forward to that. And the last thing that I kind of know for certain at the moment that is going to help me get my life back in 2026 is to figure out the balance of short format content consumption. So I'm talking TikTok, shorts, Reels. We all know they're not good for you. It's so easy to get sucked into the hole of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I know it affects me. I know it makes my mood lower. It makes my motivation levels lower, my creativity levels lower. It's not good. I much prefer YouTube. I like making videos like this, and I enjoy watching them because it's kind of like a podcast. You could be doing something else while you're watching this video, right? And I think it's much, much better for your attention span. So as a consumer, I really want to find a way to limit my scrolling. I love it. It's really fun. I'm not going to cut it out of my life completely, but I've got to find some sort of balance here. I've got to find some sort of system that allows me to have an amount of time to enjoy just scrolling through the short format stuff, but then stopping and walking away and doing other things that I know are just better for my general well-being. I also, as a creator, want to invest more time into making better videos here on YouTube, because I have spent way too much time on short format that I'm then completely creatively exhausted, and I don't want to make something here on YouTube that's like got some good substance to it, and I don't want to do that anymore. I love making YouTube videos. I've been doing this for 15 years and I enjoy it so much. I also love my other channel for being able to just jump in and say whatever and not having as much structure, and I think that's how I'm going to run the two channels. I think the other channel is just going to be like let's hang out, do whatever we feel like doing this week, and then this channel I want to have some more structure, some more actual substance, and something that's beneficial to everyone that wants to be here and hang out and watch, so that's sort of what I'm thinking about in terms of my social media consumption and content creation, and I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited. I'm so motivated. So those are the 4 things that I am quite certain of right now that I know are going to get me to where I want to be in 2026. I'm so excited. This just feels like the good old days, and I just want to make it better. I want to make it the better 2026 version of all that really good stuff that I love so much, and that I know some of you really, really love as well. So I would love for you to come on this journey with me. We can figure it out. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error. We're going to try things. It's not going to work. Some things are. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for it. I'm going to make a whole bunch of new year, new me content on this channel again, just like I used to, but better. And I would love to know what your goals are for 2026. Like, what do you envision for this year? Because something feels different. Something feels like it's just time to put the last few years behind us and just put ourselves on the path that we want to be on. And I am so, so looking forward to it. So thank you for being here with me. Thanks for hanging out, and let me know what kind of stuff you want me to talk about as we go into the new year, because I got a lot of ideas and I got to figure it out. But I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I will see you very shortly.